Hey, Dr. Thomas, this is Coach Sagasta, Frank Sagasta. I wanted to share with you a quick video and not be too lengthy, but describe how you've impacted my life and how you, CJ, and Carl Phillips through the podcast has continued to endeavor our hearts within our home here in Boyd City, Arizona. First, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I came from a broken home, kind of like yourself. And when I say broken home, I didn't have a father. I had five brothers, one sister, but they were much older than myself. Today they have their own families. Of course, I have nephews that are much older than me. I was the baby of the family. I had a stepfather. My mother and stepfather divorced way before I was born. So real fast, my mother had very much health complications. She suffered from dementia and Alzheimer's, a few other health complications. She was taken at the age of, I was 18 years old, she was 67 years old, so it goes to tell you exactly how old my mom was when she had me. We lived in Riverside, California, and it was quite a childhood because I was molested by a man that lived across the street there, worked across the street for a number of years. And I tried to tell people, my teachers and my mother and my brothers, and nobody believed me. And I think a lot of that is because I used to tell stories, and I always got away with things. So I had a pretty rough childhood. My brothers used to mentally abuse me and physically abuse me from time to time, just because of drug habits or just different things. I used to steal when I was a kid. Just had a bad upbringing. Moved around a lot. Never moved out within the states of Arizona and California, but moved around in between those two states, and never had a structural or a foundation set for me. No role models. None of that. No foundation. About 11 through 12 years old, I was placed into foster care. Ran away from every foster home I was ever placed in. Broke into a school to find shelter. I think I was homeless from around between 6 to 7 months, living on the streets until the state of California found me and put me into an all-boys home. The all-boys home is like an orphanage or a group home, and it was owned by Los Padrinos and then transferred over to Loma Linda University, where it surrounded itself with great people that cared about the kids. And there I was able to meet one of the most impacting male figures in my life. His name was Michael Smalls. He played for the University of Notre Dame. I got a picture right here. That's him right there, linebacker. And he moved my heart and moved my desire to play football and to play different sports and to one day have a dream to become a coach. And today I fulfilled that. 6 years I've been coaching just with this one school. I've coached in other sports, but not as impacting as today. And I've impacted a lot of individuals. I'm a PE teacher, been doing that for 5 years. I was first a social studies teacher for the first year I came in. The superintendent seen something in me and placed me into that position, and I took off with it, okay? And I thank you because you set like a fire. You sparked the fire within me. You woke the giant within. But my mother died when I was about 18, 19 years old. My stepfather passed away when I was about 22 years old, and I moved out to Arizona after graduation. My stepbrother found me and got me a job out here, and so I worked at a casino as a valet attendant, worked in the supermarket for about 7 years, worked construction for about 7 to 10 years, and worked as a special inspector, and now I'm doing a PE teacher. So I've had my hands in different things. I've been a worker ever since through high school. It was mandatory for us as players at Colton High School in Colton, California, to have a job, and our coach was real adamant about us coaching the Pop Warner programs and helping out in the community. So we were very community orientated there in that small town. And so I had a job. I was working as a daycare attendant, and I loved my job. I really did. I love being around kids, and I think a lot of it is because of the impact that we can make on kids today. So that's another great passion that we share together. But Dr. Thomas and CJ and Carl, this is for your guys' team. My video is not to persuade you to allow me to work with you in any shape or form. It's just to thank you for all that you've done for me and that you continue to do. Even through social media, I follow you guys, and getting the opportunity. It's been a very long time, long waited time, but that opportunity would have never came if I had not done what you told me to do. You know, waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and just inducing myself to general knowledge through self-help books, including yourself, Grant Cardone, Og Medino, Bob Proctor, Napoleon Hill, Dale Brown, just so many. I can just go on and on. Right now my tongue's a little slipping because it is early in the morning. Oprah Winfrey, John Maxwell. Anyways, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, I definitely thank my Father, my Heavenly Father, for putting me in the position and going through all the pain and struggle through life to become who I am today. And I believe wholeheartedly, and I'm very adamant about your pain being your drive to success. And you know, like I tell kids, you know, I'm not looking for the success of currency. I'm looking for the success of legacy, and to always make my mark in history. And that only came from hearing people like yourself, and you know, I'll give a little credit to Tony, to Mr. Robinson, because Tony did move in a different direction. But ultimately, it was up to me to make a decision in life to hold everything, every video or every book that I read, to remove the cobwebs of negative vibration and transform them into something positive, especially Napoleon Hill. I mean, without him and W. Clement Stone, I would not be the most positive person I am today. And I believe that because when I left your event in Phoenix, shortly after I left that, I'm sitting at the cheese factory, we're eating, and people automatically, once I got on my social media, people immediately, I posted something on one of your posts, and people immediately were like, "Hey, great vibration. We sensed your enthusiasm." I mean, I didn't sit back from the time it started. I didn't sit back in my chair, and I looked around, not comparing myself to other people, but I looked around. Everybody's leaning back. But I was at the edge of my seat because that's where, you know, it started with Elijah, and then it moved to Carl, then CJ, then yourself. But I was at the edge of my seat, man, because I wanted to hear what you had to say. I wanted to acknowledge that I was paying attention, that I have full ears, that you had my full heart, that you had my full mind. And so, you know, in saying that, it was a privilege and an honor to hear you speak. And I can't wait till you come to Vegas, and I'm pushing for other cats. Now, I'll be emailing Carl, or I actually already did, but you know, I'm hoping that you come to Vegas, you get the opportunity to come to Vegas, and I could bring a crew of people to hear you speak. I told one cat yesterday that he's one of my former coaches and friends now. I got him listening to you. I bought him a book, and I sent it to him. It was Greatness is Upon You. But man, I want to definitely just take this time to thank you. You know, and I'm not making this video to you know, to persuade you to allow me to work with you. If that time ever comes, you know, that's by the grace of God and by your open heart, your open heart to allow me to work with you. But just being an affiliate, I'm happy with that. I do work right now for a school. I love my school. I love the kids, you know. But I know that that you woke the giant within me, and I'm going to continue to do what I do to the day I retire. And what I mean by that, to the day I die, I'm going to continue to induce myself and influence others around me. So we have lunch together, or coffee together, or work together, whatever it may be. But you know my why. I was one of the first cats to jump up and tell you my why. It's about my family. My why is just to help others around me too. So this is Coach Sagasta, Frank Sagasta. Thank you again, CJ, Carl, the whole team, Ashanti. Thank you all very much. I appreciate you, and look forward to one day having lunch with you guys, and I just collaborating. I love collaborating with people that are vibrant, people that have energy, people that have intelligence. So you know my name, and I look forward to seeing your post on Facebook. Talk to you soon now. God bless.